This is Dr. Chris's Radio of Horror, 91.3 FM, WCW in Worcester. If you're not catching this on the broadcast during this recorded interview, hopefully you're catching this on the Radio of Horror YouTube channel. You can like, subscribe, and comment. Tonight on the show with us, we have actress, director, producer Emma Dark returning to the show. Last time she was on was for Seize the Night, a gothic noir vampire movie where she played Ava. Now she's back to talk a little bit about the Chronicles of Alundra, or Goro, isolation horrors. Thank you for coming back on the show, Emma.
Thank you very much for having me back.
What are you what are you most interested in talking about tonight?
Probably Salient -10 because I've got that coming out just about now. And it's been on the festival circuit for a while now, a couple of years, good couple of years, collecting its laurels and awards and stuff. And it's just coming out now, really.
Sci-fi horror short. Adam Harper is an average man, and on an average day, he suddenly finds his average self catapulted into a strangest reality-changing average game. A game of time and chance where the average stakes are a matter of life and death. I had to throw average in there a few more times because you use it 3 times in the IMDb description.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to kind of make it very obvious that he is an average man and he's going about an average life, and it's not communicated in the short, but hopefully people that have been quite bored in their jobs, etc., might kind of sympathise and empathise with him here. He's very bored of what he's doing, and he's hoping something exciting will happen, and it does. And he probably wishes it didn't. So,
I swear to God, if you took out Salient -10, you could throw in 2 words, starts with D, and the second word starts with W, for this poster.
Okay. I don't know what that is.
What famous British television show starts with D and W?
Oh, right, okay. I get you, Doctor Who. All right. You're not the first person to say that. Lots of people have said that, and I can tell you 100% that was not an influence to me at all. But I think the fact that Alan's wearing quite a long coat...
It's got a very Doctor Who-like feel to it, you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. It's, was it Peter Capaldi? Played Doctor Who, didn't he, for a while?
Yeah, before the girl, the one from Attack the Block did.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't really see it. This is bad. I didn't really see any of those. It's been a while since I've watched Doctor Who. And actually, I prefer Torchwood.
Your whole country is sitting there going...
Yeah.
You have betrayed the Queen and Crown.
Me right now, maybe. I don't know. But, I think because his outfit looks a bit like that, maybe that's what people are thinking. I don't know. But there's nothing of Doctor Who in it.
No, definitely. But is that you as the evil eyes above him?
It is me, yeah. Because it is about Alan's character, Adam Harper, and the character I play she is integral to the film, but there's not much screen time for her, so I couldn't have put myself more prominent, really, if I, thought about it. So, yeah, I've just got the eyes so people can see there's something creepy happening, he's running away, and, something sinister is going on.
How do you get these little short films made? Do you self-finance them, or are they through a company? Because you seem to do a lot of little short films.
Well, it's a bit of both. So it is partly self-financed. I haven't managed to raise enough on crowdfunds before to completely cover the budget for any of these films. So for this one, I did do a crowdfund, and I got just over £4,000.
Oh.
But then once you take off all the fees that the platform put on, and then you've got to do your product fulfillment. So I've got DVDs, T-shirts, posters, etc. That will cost a lot of money to get those made. Then you've got all your locations to pay for, expenses, insurances, all kinds of things, props, loads of different things. By the time you've done all that, you've pretty much covered all of that budget. And then you've still got to do your festival run. And that can be expensive. I think I've probably spent £1,000 on submissions. And then you've got all your attending the festivals as well, which costs a lot of money as well. Hotels, travel, etc. So, yeah, it's an expensive business. And, I do have to put some of my own money into it, which is why I don't make these super frequently, just because, it would just cost too much money personally for me to do that.
The one that I was really interested in is the isolation of horrors, which is I
Mm.
think the press release I got maybe a month or two ago. During an epidemic outbreak, how socially relevant, a concerned neighbor calls his isolating friends to check on them after he finds a bloody face mask in the street. Meanwhile, the neighbors are experiencing their own horrors in their homes of isolation. Did you film this during quarantine?
Yes. Oh
Wow.
yes, yeah. So
Oh,
this is like the opposite end of the scale to something like Salient Minus 10 or Season Night, which are, budgeted films that have cost quite a lot and taken a long time to put together. The remit for this, and it was actually Nikolai Kornum who made the anthology and all the wraparound that asked me to be part of this. He said, obviously shooting in quarantine because we can't not, we're restricted by that, and it's shot on a mobile phone. So I had to think quite carefully about what kind of story I could tell. And the remit was to make it 2 minutes to 5 minutes long, and I've just got a just under 2 minutes short there. But it still took me 12 and a half days to put that together. Only one day filming, but a lot of time pre-production writing the script, doing all the graphics. I don't know if you've seen it, but it's got a website in it and an app and stuff, and I had to design all that from scratch, which took a while. And then obviously all the edit and everything, I did all the sound design myself, which to be honest I've never done. It seemed to sound all right though. So yeah, I'm really pleased with the end result. And I used to hate mobile filmmaking. I used to really think, it was a bit rubbish, to be honest. Um, but now looking at what I've managed to do and what the other filmmakers managed to do, and certainly what Nikolai managed to put together, which is pretty amazing. I've changed my mind, and I would make a couple more mobile shorts, kind of straight to web things, um, like the isolation horrors. But I think it is very good, actually. The anthology. I was very impressed when I saw the end result.
what is the other film that I was going to mention? Oh, The Chronicles of Olundra Hunters Hunted.
Yeah, I mean that's it's not my film, that's somebody else's. And that's been in pre-production for quite a while now. I think probably a few years.
Oh
And
no.
yeah, so it's just sort of parked there. It's awaiting funding. So if it does get the funding at some point, that'd be great. It's a great role. But I don't know because it's a fantasy film and it's a feature. And the problem is with kind of fantasy features, is costuming and budget and stuff like that. If you want it to look like a high production value film, then it probably needs quite a reasonable budget. And I think he was interested in getting some named actors in as well, which would probably cost budget as well. So yeah, it's parked for now, unfortunately.
What do you have coming up soon? What are you going to be working on once the quarantine's finally over, and what do you hope to get started? Do you have any long? Do you have any? Let me start over. Do you have any feature length films coming, or are you still sticking to the short stuff?
Yeah, well, I'd like to do a feature. It's not that much more effort to do a feature than it is a short with the kind of things that I do. But again, it's having that budget. And, if you've not got much of a budget and you've got to kind of shoot when people have got free time, and you can run into all sorts of problems. So at the minute, until I can get a reasonable budget, I'm probably not going to be doing a feature because it probably wouldn't end up being the kind of feature I'd want to do. But I will be doing another festival short, high production value. And that will be J horror influenced. But when that's going to shoot, I don't know, because obviously with all the social distancing laws and stuff we've got at the minute, it's just impossible. And I don't know where things are going at the minute with all the COVID-19 crisis. So it will be shot at some point. But yeah, I know what I want to shoot, and it will look good. So yeah.
You seem to have worked in every single department: actress, director, producer, writer, editor, cinematographer, visual effects, editing, camera, sound design. What's one thing in filming you haven't done that you want to get into?
Well, I mean, sound design is, I mean, that's only on my film Gorio, and that's only because I had to, just to get something done quickly, really. But yeah, I mean, things like editing, I edit my own films. I like to edit things. Shooting things. I mean, my festival films, I wouldn't shoot those myself because it's just too much. If you're directing, producing, and trying to shoot things as well, and just manage everything, it's too much. But I do like little art house pieces and test films and stuff like that. I like cinematography. I like creating footage. So yeah, and acting, yeah, I think I will continue doing bits and pieces of acting. I do think it's good to have your face front of camera as well. I mean, I don't think somebody like Tarantino can be wrong. He's done it, so
I
yeah.
always try not to be in front of anything that I'm making, mainly because I can't act. So I always take a page from the great Kevin Smith's playbook and just be the Silent Bob character because he can't act and he can't deliver dialogue very well.
Yeah, well, that's the thing as well, because if you're doing so much on your own film and you're trying to act, I mean, it is exhausting and it's impossible to find the time to completely review all your footage and everything.
Well,
Which I
Kevin just thinks he's a terrible actor, and that's why he gave all of the Silent Bob lines to Jason Mewes for those two characters of Jay and Silent Bob in all of Kevin Smith's films.
Okay, well, maybe he is and maybe he isn't. I don't know. He might just think he is, but I certainly found with Seize the Night it was quite difficult acting and doing everything else. Just finding the time was just really difficult. So in Sailing at -10, my character has no lines. I added the lines in post, so she talks with telepathy, which just made it much easier, to be honest. Just to basically kind of stand there and give some expressions, and there's less to think about. So
Well, Emma, thank you so much for coming back on the show to talk a little bit about some of your most recent films. I'm glad to hear that you're safe and healthy in quarantine.
absolutely. Well, thank you very much for having me.
Where can people find you on social media?
If they just look at my website, which is emmadark.com, they can find all the links and stuff off of that.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Emma.
Brilliant. Thank you.